Hi, I'm Bonnie Browning with the American Quilter Society, and you know what? What's more fun than to be at AQS Quilt Week with a whole group of winners? This is the Amazing Eight, and these ladies met at thequiltshow.com. So I'm just going to ask them to tell us a little bit about making this second place winner in the group category. All right, so we're going to start with letting them tell their names and where they're from, because they're from all over.
My name is Dana Lynch, and I'm from Olive Branch, Mississippi.
I'm Karen Fitzpatrick from Cleveland, Ohio.
Wanda Myers from Shiner, Texas.
I'm Mary Kay Runyon. I live in Germantown, Tennessee.
And I'm Mary Holman from Vicksburg, Mississippi.
And we're missing Carol Mollers.
Yeah, we have three other members of our group. Carol Mollers from Iowa, Cindy Neville from St. Louis, and Bridget Lilja from Chicago, and we miss all three of them right now. We wish they were here.
Well, all right, so I'm going to ask a few questions, and first of all, tell us how you all got together and decided to make a quilt together, or several quilts, right?
This is actually the third quilt that we've made together, and this project started about 2 years ago. We were coming up toward the end of 2012, and you may recall at the time the Mayans used to say that 2012 was going to be the end of time, and so we thought it'd be kind of funny to make a quilt that, you know, captured that whole concept of the end of time, and that's how we focused in on the Aztec calendar.
Okay, and so you said you've made two other quilts prior to this?
Yes, we started quilting together as a group 5 years ago. As you mentioned, we met through the quiltshow.com and had made two previous quilts, and I believe both of them were juried into Paducah. So this is our first ribbon at the Paducah show, which is exciting.
Okay, now you all were at the awards presentation last night, so tell us how exciting that was.
It was extremely exciting. It was such a nice event that you held, and it was nice to be there with all these ladies. So it was a long walk up to the stage, but I think we enjoyed the walk and enjoyed being up there with you to get the award.
All right, and so did somebody pick out the fabric, or did you all do certain parts of this quilt?
Well, when we, since this was our third project, one of the things that we did was we decided upon a decision-making method for all the major decisions related to the quilt, including deciding upon what fabric. And we used some Ricky Tim's Graylicious for the background, and then cherry woods for the majority of the quilt. So our decision making went beyond the fabric. We decided upon the thread, the stitch, the size of the stitch, the method of fusible. We really worked hard at not only our skill sets, but ensuring that we did this in a way that looked like one quilter had made the entire quilt.
All right, and so did you find that process a little bit challenging at different parts?
Oh my gosh, yes. Since we live in different places and had to accomplish this primarily through the internet, we had a number of chats on Facebook, and I think I mentioned we made this over 2 years, but there were certain parts of the group that would kind of go work on a certain decision on what was the right fabric for you know, a particular part of the quilt, and then they'd come back to the group and we'd chat and we'd agree upon the decision and move on. So it was very challenging, but I think because we had made two previous quilts together, we knew each other, we kind of knew our skill sets, we knew who had what strengths, and so we tried to leverage those strengths across the group to really accomplish the quilt.
And you did that, and you made a beautiful quilt. And for those of you who are out there who make group quilts, would you encourage them to enter their quilt in a contest?
Oh my gosh, yes. And I will tell you, the 8 of us in the group, when we started making quilts together 5 years ago, the story goes, we actually met at another quilt show and had gone out to dinner together, and the story is on our second round of margaritas, it was suggested we make a quilt together and enter it into the show. And I don't think any of us had ever entered a quilt into a major quilt show before. So this really is what a group of 8 determined people can do, regardless of your experience level. If you work together as a team, you can enjoy making beautiful quilts, and again, we're very honored to be recognized at AQS's Paducah show.
Well, now we have two more of the Amazing 8 quilters, and I'll let them tell you who they are and where they're from.
I'm Cindy Bell Neville from St. Louis, Missouri.
I'm Carol Mollers from Green, Iowa.
Well, all right, Carol, so tell me what you found to be the most fun part of this whole project.
I guess it was fun when I started receiving everybody's applique pieces in the mail. All the groups sent their pieces to me, and you know, that was exciting to see each one come in the mail and see their beautiful workmanship. That's what made the quilt, is all the intricate applique that was done around all the fusible raw edge pieces. Some of them are very tiny, and everybody just did a fabulous job. And so that was the most special part, is just seeing them arrive in the mail.
So you sort of got to be the first view of how this quilt was growing, didn't
Exactly,
you?
yeah.
What fun.
We were all jealous.
Yeah, putting it together had its moments.
Yeah.
As always when you work with a group quilt.
Yeah.
And you didn't have sashing or anything to fudge on this quilt,
No.
did you?
Well, part of the thing was we had a number of conversations, and we decided that it would be best if everybody left at least 2 inches around the edges of their pieces, so that way if we had a little play with fabric to work with if things didn't fit well together.
That was smart.
Yeah. So, well, we actually kind of learned that from another quilt.
Yeah. It's our third quilt. It's been a learning process all along.
All right, and so now I know that you used someone else's image for this, so tell us about
this is a pretty good story. When we got together in Houston, decided on what we were going to use for the pattern for this quilt, which was the Aztec calendar, because it was that 2012 end of the earth thing happening. So I went online and started looking for pictures or patterns or anything I could find with the Aztec calendar. And the real calendar is a 12-foot wide stone in Mexico. And at first I thought it'd be cool to do it full size. And I thought, no, 12 feet's too big. So we cut it down, but we still didn't have a pattern. So we were thinking of maybe trying to take find a picture and then drawing our own pattern. But that would have taken us a year in itself. So I got back online and I started researching this, and I found a man up in St. Paul, Minnesota named Thomas Filsinger. He's an historian, and he's written a little book on the whole symbolism of the hieroglyphs in here and all the colors and everything. He'd also done this wonderful line drawing. Well, I emailed him. I was leaving for Antarctica the next morning. I emailed him that night, and I thought, okay, fine. At the end of the email, I said, I'll be back in 2 weeks. We can get back in touch and we can work it all out. And then I emailed everybody in the group and let them know that I'd done this. I got up next morning and he'd emailed back already. And he said, that's fine. This is the kind of drawing I had. And so I emailed him back, said, oh, this is so cool. I'll talk to you in 2 weeks. Well, while I was gone, Carol got in touch with him and he sent all the information he had.
The book, everything.
Oh my.
That
was a big
fabulous.
help.
He was just so, I think, pleased that somebody had an interest in his, art of history. And we were going to take it to that next level and, put it in a different venue. Yeah.
Well, congratulations again to the Amazing 8, and we hope we'll see more beautiful quilts from your group as well.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Enter your quilts. You can't win if you don't enter.